Christian should be in here soon. So that'll be exciting. He's already talked about.
I said where to start there. No.
I'm joining, like, there's this I need to go back up, but
that's Melissa.
there's this like live that I like to join, but I can't figure it out.
You asked me for the passcode, Melissa. There is no passcode.
Oh, are you talking to me?
Yeah, you asked me for a passcode earlier, and there's like no passcode or whatever. Yeah. I guess she's coming back, but usually it's like I don't know where everybody's at. Christian should be in here. He's gonna start. He's like already talking about he's ready to start chaos. There he go. He's ready. I knew he's ready to start some chaos. Christian, what are you doing, man?
What's good?
What's good? What's good?
Hold on, I gotta get my charger. 1 sec.
This guy. So, Guitar, anything new, man? Besides the videos and stuff?
Anything new? Let's see here. Well, that's kind of my life right now. So,
well,
not a whole lot.
Yeah, I gotta ask you a question. Did you ever think you'd have almost 1 million subs on YouTube?
Yeah, that was my goal for years. I was like, if I got 1 million subscribers, I would never ask anyone to subscribe ever again. Yeah. I would literally take it off of all my videos going forward. I just wanted 1 million. That's all I wanted, you know? And I'll still keep making videos, but I wouldn't never ask anyone to subscribe. Like once I'm there, that's it. That's it.
Do they, I want to know about the plaques. Do like YouTube like send you like plaques and shit, or how's that?
I have 1 plaque. Yeah.
What, did you send it to you or now?
Yeah. You want to see it?
Yeah, definitely, man.
Well, you famous?
Yeah, bro. He's got almost 1 million subs.
No way.
Swear to God.
What type of content he does?
He basically goes out and have people. What does it say on it?
100,000.
100,000. What about what's the next one?
1 million. It'll be gold.
Oh shit.
Yeah, bro. Can you see yourself? Can you see yourself in it?
I see. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, what's good, D?
Yeah.
Oh, man. It's dope. Hey.
There you go.
And you're almost at 1 million. So
almost. On the way.
Yeah,
what's your name on YouTube?
Kintaro 5000.
Yeah.
Kintaro
5000.
Oh, do you play fighting games and stuff?
No.
Oh.
No, but he literally goes up and has random people singing with.
Because Kintaro is like from Mortal Kombat, ain't it? Kintaro.
No, Kintaro Gitaro.
I'm gonna look you up real quick.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
I'm about to say, let me add to the sub count. I'm about to do the same, bro.
Gitaro 5000. We get kicked out when she sing. Oh, so you do like street interviews and stuff like that?
No.
Yeah, right. But instead of just interviewing them, I also ask them to sing.
Oh, that's dope. I'll check you out, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I was at work and somebody was like, "Yeah, I listened to that guy's YouTube." I was like, "No fucking way!" I was like, "Yo, it's crazy, man." Like, it's fucking crazy. I was like, "This guy's super humble. You would never know."
So what's up? Where's everybody else at?
I don't know where the hell they're at, man. But the show must continue. I guess we're the only guys talking about our goals this month. For me, myself, my goals last month were to continue reading. I actually read a lot this month here. I picked up a new personality book on Enneagrams, and I've been understanding the power behind Enneagram. That shit's like it's very important. I think it's like one of the best for like coaching and whatnot. It's Enneagram. Find out your Enneagram, like you can figure out. To me, it's like somebody, you made a deal with the devil when you were born. Like, not when you were born, but like maybe 6 or 7 years in, you made a deal with the devil. There's something you said about like life.
Into satanic shit?
That's not right. Like that, bro. Damn, but I'm like being abstract about it, Chris. God damn, bro.
Oh, hell
like,
no, bro.
Like you made a deal somewhere to where like, it's kind of like you made a deal and you sacrificed everything else. Like, mine is an 8, and it said I'll be powerful and like I won't, like that's the most, everything else is sacrifice. but I'm going to be powerful. I'm not going to be vulnerable. I'm going to make sure like that's something I sacrifice. But like every Enneagram to a degree sacrifices something. And they sacrifice, it's kind of weird because you kind of see like Thomas them, they sacrifice action and everything else for thinking. That's why he has troubles like doing things that he should do, and why he overanalyzes because he's an Enneagram 5, and what they are is overthinkers. So they overthink everything. And
Isn't that most people though?
Huh? No, Enneagram 5 is way worse, bro. And it's all about just like they prioritize thinking. Yo, what up, Sarah?
Hi.
Sarah can probably go more in depth on Enneagram 5, right?
I don't know Enneagram 5 very well. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't. Go ahead.
Pull out a little pamphlet real quick if I need.
Yeah, there you go. I know the 3. I know the 1. I know the 9.
What's so positive about using it as a coaching tool versus typology?
So I know a lot of therapists use it as a coaching tool more than typology. I think because of the way you can so obviously see your disintegration to your where you integrate more and to see where you're directed. I know that some of it has to do with, so like Enneagram 3 within the heart triad, one of the big things we feel is shame. Like shame is something we're afraid of. So and so then to be able to easily go, okay, I can identify that emotion seems to work easier for some people as far as directing them towards a healthier growth path. And I think MBTI might be, because of the cognitive functions, I do feel that you have to get into it more, you have to study more. So in order to use that as a growth path, there's a lot more to it than just the Enneagram, maybe.
Well,
I could be wrong.
This is my thinking, but I think the cognitive functions and MBTI, this is me, and this is what me and the group of, with me, Thomas, and the rest of the people have just come up with. We believe that type is just the tools that you have. That it's just the tools that you have. So the Enneagram is who you are.
Yeah.
Type is the tools that you have to use to express. But the Enneagram is who you are. And when I said like people make deals with the devil or whatnot, it's kind of like what this is the strategy I developed to cope with my beliefs. I learned to become strong and powerful by imposing my truth and by hiding my vulnerabilities in order to protect myself and others and to gain others' respect. I developed a forceful energy and came to rely on my own instincts. So it's kind of like a trade-off like I made. Like, okay, I'm not going to be vulnerable. I'm not going to be weak. I'm not going to be out of control. And you'll see how that kind of plays out. If you ever, Chris, you notice, like, I don't like to be out of control. And like my emotions, I've noticed kind of seep out more than I even noticed. Like my coworkers would be like, hey, you were yelling at this person on the phone. And I was like, nah, I wasn't yelling. And they're like, yeah, you were yelling, dude. We heard you way up here. I don't even notice it. Like, I don't even notice. I'm not even like, oh, I'm like, what, really? Like, y'all over-exaggerate, you know? So my emotions kind of seep out a lot more than I think or care to for
admit.
Huh?
When you said care to, I was like, admit.
Yeah. That's a better. Yeah.
Do you think the Enneagram lines up more with the subtypes, because subtypes have to do with nurture more?
I think so. What I've noticed is that with the Enneagram, there is a specific type that generally, there's 2 Enneagrams that generally depict your type, right? But like, so like, let's say for ENTJ, it's either 8 or 3. If you're not an 8 or 3, you're gonna find yourself like, oh my God, nothing for the ENTJ matches up for me. But then when you pull out that Enneagram, you're like, oh shit, this shit's speaking volumes to me. So it's like I said, like type is just the tools. Like those are the tools you have at display. Like let's say for instance, I'm an 8, all right? I'm an 8, but I'm able to use TE as a hero function, and then NI is a secondary function. Let's say if I was an 8 and I was a ENTP, I have NE. Like my brother, he's an 8. I think he's an 8. He has NE at the first spot, you know, but he's still an 8 core need. Like he doesn't like to show that he's vulnerable. He wants to be strong. He's not going to sacrifice that. So yeah, I find it to be a lot better with the coaching because it actually gives you direct things that you can do, and it's kind of like talking to you because there's a voice that happened to you somewhere in your childhood or something where you said, this is the path that I need to take. or
Right.
this is what I'm trading off for everything else. So like for somebody who's a 5, they trade off everything else for thinking.
Yeah. Okay.
Thinking and analyzing. They traded everything off for thinking and analyzing.
Well, I mean, I don't know anything about Enneagrams, but my critique of MBTI as a coaching tool is that people stay at step 0, basically. Like it takes years for them to even find their type, and once they find it, they change it every other month. So it's like, how you gonna coach somebody on something that changes month to month, or could change a year from now? You think you were one type, then you go to another type. You were acting like this one type, and now you want to act something completely different off a whim. You know it. So as a coaching tool, I just thought it was kind of not stupid, but just like inefficient. You know.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah. So if Enneagram gets you past step 0, it's already better than MBTI, basically.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people like do analysis. What do they call it, Christian? Analysis paralysis, whatever the fuck the shit is.
Paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, same. There you go.
And then the type of people you're describing that get kind of paralyzed by having to overthink everything, they love MBTI because it's like unlimited overthinking. Like you could overthink forever and do nothing your whole life. And it's like you basically are in the MBTI community, you know, like you get a peer group.
Darwin already has like a really good like for every single function, leading function, hero function, he has different levels for it. It's like it makes it almost like the Enneagram. Not the subtypes, but like it's the 3 categories. It's like you know what I'm talking about, right? Culturally adapted. Or like when basically there's 3 versions, like when there's a transcendent version of type, the average version, and the version where the type is down in the dumps.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, you know, that I think that could be helpful and potentially expanded upon too.
That's similar to Enneagram because you have your main type and then you have your disintegration or your integration. So that's the 3 levels.
So,
Yeah.
And you notice that, so like it's as though you can't put someone into a box. This is what we've noticed. So like, let's say Thomas, he's a 5, right? 5 have different sides of the mind, different sides of the mind or whatnot, because they're 5. Like, let's say somebody who's like, what's her name? I love her to death, Felicia. Felicia's the 4 Enneagram. She has different sides of the mind than Thomas do have. Jordan has the same size of the mind that Thomas does. So Jordan will behave more like Thomas or see things like Thomas based on like, you know, how secure they are or whatnot. Like I've noticed, for instance, if you make Thomas or you give Jordan like a very secure spot, they become like very like, they're not going to allow like no one to fuck with their friends. Like they're really like secure on that, because when you give them the security of it, that's what more like how they will act. If someone makes me secure, I'm more in my giving mode. Like I'm more likely to give to people. But when I'm stressed out or something, I withdraw and I start doing analysis paralysis.
So is the Enneagram within the types? So can you be the same type, different Enneagram, or how does that work?
So that's where the big thing, the big differences lie here. Because like, let's say if you are someone who's an ENTJ and you're a 5, you're not going to think you're an ENTJ because the stereotypes for ENTJs are 8s and 3s.
Yes.
So now, like, you have but the thing about the Enneagram is you've made this is how I see it. You made a deal with the devil to get something. And every Enneagram sacrifices something. So like, whether it be 2s, like sacrificing who they are as a person and willing to want to give and help everybody else, or you could be an Enneagram 8 where you sacrifice, I'm gonna be powerful, I'm never gonna be vulnerable. No one's ever gonna take something away from me. Like, you're gonna have to kill me. Like, there's the sacrifices, you know, for each Enneagram.
Well, the Enneagram started as a very Christian method for teaching and growing and helping the block or whatever. And so originally, like the 7 of them were based on the deadly sins. So it kind of falls in line then with your talking about the deals with the devil, because if it's based on those sins, because some of the core things, like for like the 3 with the shame, or, you know, you it's the things you're trying to get away from. So then that's kind of what drives you. And so, yeah. Can you
use it independently of your type? Like, let's say I'm not into MBTI and I just want to use Enneagram. Can I do that?
Yeah.
I have actually thought about it. Me and Thomas and Cody and Shelly were talking about it. and this is just my thoughts, I think Enneagram is actually more powerful than type.
Yep.
Way more powerful. You will go a lot farther with knowing Enneagram than type. 100%.
I've actually thought of using Enneagram for my therapy instead of MBTI. I wanted to, but even Molly used Enneagram for years in her therapy practice, and she found more use for it than MBTI.
Now, when you say farther, in what way? Like, as far as like getting results, as far as like
development
description, or what?
Development, growth and development.
Description, everything. I think people, for instance, when they read, like Thomas the other day, he was reading like the 5, and we got this huge ass fucking book. We got this huge ass book where it's like maybe like 100 pages, maybe like 50 some pages on like each category. And Thomas read the 5, and he's like, bro, I agree with 90% of what I read. So I agree with that more than I agree with INTJ. That just shows that, like, basically you're more of an Enneagram than you are a type. Like, the type is just the tools you have. Like, what Thomas has is he has high NI and high TE. You know, those are the tools he has, but he's a 5. You know, if he was an INTP like Ali or something, he'd have TI and NE instead. But he's still a 5.
I would still say, well, with MBTI,
You're
especially combine it
with
if you combine it with socionics, you're going to have a deeper level of understanding at a psychodynamic level, like you know, basically all your like because it's a very complex analysis of the brain, right? And you are fixed as a type, but like each person of a type could present differently based on level of development, like whether, you know, what's their relationship with their inferior function, what's their relationship with their tertiary, their third function. So I think
I'm gonna say this,
when that changes, then people can change their relationship with those things.
So Leon, what I'm gonna say there is that Enneagram actually plays a bigger part into the functions that you actually go towards or run away from. As if you can see, let's say if you're an ENTJ with an 8, you're gonna run away from FI because it's just, you don't want to be vulnerable. Like, that's just part of the Enneagram there. If you're an ENTJ and you're a 5, that's totally different. And I've seen an ENTJ who's a 5, and he doesn't think he's an ENTJ, you know. So, but he still has the ENTJ tools, but you know, he doesn't have that. Like, depending on, we've noticed that as well. Like, if you're an INTJ and you're a 4, dude, your thinking is not on the same level as an INTJ that's a 5. You almost compare stupid to them. Like, it is what it is. Like, you know, it's like you sacrifice different things. Like, a 5 is all about brain power. 4 is more about passion and expression of themselves.
Yeah.
There's a trade-off that you've made.
Right. And Enneagram has less discriminating factors, right? So there's 9 categories, which is 16 for MBTI. I think from what I've seen, it's easier for the layperson to get into it just because there's less barriers, especially if they don't have to account for the cognitive functions and the difference between those 8 as well. So I think it's a little bit easier to get into those, and they do a pretty good job of illustrating what are the common maps. I will say, I mostly agree with Mercer. I think there's probably about 2 or 3 types that most align with. On the INTJ, they're most likely going to be 1, 5, or maybe an 8. So apparently Thomas is a 5. Apparently last time I took it several years ago, I was a 1. So that, I guess that's the reformer type. So that means everyone in the matrix hates me, and I think that's about right. Just about everyone in the matrix system wants to destroy me because I want to fix their system. So that about checks out. But I get there's different trade-offs, but I don't think you're going to find a ton of INTJ, what the 2, the helper type. I don't think you're going to find a ton of INTJ 9 peacemakers. So there's a fair amount of overlap if you're to do a Venn diagram.
But the thing is, Jordan, you could be an INTJ that falls into one of those, and then you're going to be totally different than any other INTJ, and you're not going to think you're INTJ, but you still have NI and TE.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you find your type, or does your type find you? Like, is it nurture or nature?
Type, I think, is 100%.
For Enneagram specifically.
Yeah,
Enneagram, I think you choose that. You have chose that, but like by the time it's too late for you. Like, by the time you get to like adulthood or whatever, it's too late. Like, maybe you can switch, maybe you can do like a shitload of work and you can flop like maybe like I could flop between an 8 to a 9 because I'm an 8W7. But I'm not about to like you're not gonna change total Enneagram. Like it's not gonna happen.
It's gonna be hard
Yeah,
too.
so
It's gonna be virtually.
I'd actually push back on that. Mercer said so. At least I'm just going to go up the scoring method I had a while ago. It's not going to be the same. It's going to depend on the scoring method, but it's going to start with nature, then nurture, and then what you choose. And so it's going to start with whatever you were born with. Some people have more mental focus, some more emotional focus, and then how you're raised, and then and then from there what you choose. Now as we mentioned earlier, there's some similar Enneagrams where like if you got scores on them, so like if I did mine today, I'd probably get very high score on possibly a 1 or a 5, and some depending on.
Wait, you gotta take the one that I posted from Stanford. It's like they give you like a couple of them, and then you find it from there. Because when you take the test, it's gonna spit out like kind of like sometimes it can spit out a 3 for me, but I'm an 8. And the difference between like an 8 and a 3 is that like a 3 has way more, doesn't let its emotions out as much, but like an 8, like the emotions can fester out and kind of the environment around them.
Do you think it's better to see like an Enneagram specialist and take the test?
I think it's best to just follow the method, dude. This shit's from Stanford. Like it literally, they've had 1,000 people take this shit, and they came up with the method for it. I mean, this shit's from Stanford.
Expert thinking argument.
Yeah, right.
1,000 people, they tested it out. Here we go. It's good.
This is it. These are the facts. Take them.
I mean, and if not, you can use Weasel's method. Like he has essentially the same fucking method. This guy here, he's like a fucking million. He has the same method, and Katie posted it. And you look at those, and you see which one you agree with, and it finds it for you. It's not.
Okay. Yeah. So the methodology is good.
Charo, go for
it. So can you type someone's Enneagram by observing them?
Yes. I think it's easier. I think it's actually easier than type. A lot easier.
Really? So would you consider doing some Enneagram typing celebrity videos?
I think in the future we're gonna be doing a little mixture of both. I think I'm gonna be able to do both. But you can pretty much tell like an Enneagram, like an 8, a 5, like you can pretty much tell like those, like once you like identify like a face to them, like let's say for instance, I think about Thomas, Shelley, Dario Nardi, and I think about 5s. Like whenever I think about a 5, that's what I'm thinking about. When I think about an 8, I usually think about my brother, me, just like Arnold or something like very like Kobe Bryant, like those are 8s.
But there's no system, right? There's no
system with that. No.
So you just do it off of feeling kind of thing.
Yeah.
More feeling.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, you can. I think you can. You love to point it out, huh, Christian? T.I. Hero, huh? You love to point that out, but you can look at it and you can tell like, okay, somebody expressing, the passion and whatnot. Those tend to be 4s, like actors, actresses, and whatnot. They tend to be 4s. But I think it's a wonderful tool. I highly recommend. Like Vincent, we got you on here, huh?
Yeah, well, we'll see if it holds up. My internet sucks.
Yeah, but I think it's a very powerful tool. I think it's way better than type if you're trying to like actually pinpoint ways to actually increase or actually get past like the things that you are suffering with.
I actually have a story about that because I'm a 3, and Mercer, a little bit that my last like month has been pretty bad. And 2 weeks ago when I met with my therapist, we had some rough stuff to go through. And knowing that some of the core stuff of 3s and some of the issues we have, it like all clicked.
Yeah.
And I had to do some hard healing tools with her. I had to write a letter to my ex, and I had to face some stuff and realize that for all my marriage, I dealt with shame, a lot of shame. And that was directly related to my Enneagram type. And then, oh my gosh, so much was clear. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's more your Enneagram than your actual type.
Yeah, my Enneagram was, so I always thought I was more of a 2, but I actually had Molly help me kind of define it a little bit. I have a 2 wing for sure, but it's 3 is the one that's the issue. And that was used against me in my marriage over and over and over again. And it just pushed me down until I was into disintegration. And so, and I hold back my emotions like crazy. I won't let them out at all. And I'm having to do some actual body work to try to get those out. And I'm afraid nobody is going to love me and accept me. And that's a 3 thing. And so it was really hard to face, but it was very, very, very useful, more than MBTI was for me the last couple weeks, the last month or so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, you learn that. Like, I wasn't really aware that a girl told me once before that my energy changes the environment, and I just said the motherfucker was crazy. You know, like if I came in and I was like in a shitty mood, it just like contaminated the whole environment or whatnot, or like my energy in itself, like just like fuck with people. I never really noticed that, but when you read about Enneagram 8, it says it in me. So I was like, oh man, I got to work on that. And it's funny because I actually kind of was cognitive of that. And that's the reason why I don't really wear all black when I go out or anything like that. I'll wear multitude of colors. I'll do that. Like, I'll do things like wearing like pink shirts or like flower pattern shirts, stuff like that, because it kind of like lessens the energy. And I didn't even really notice that I was doing that, you know, subconsciously, because I was aware of it, you know. Put a lot of that into perspective.
Wait, so Sarah, what was the advice you got?
So with my therapist, we decided that I needed to write a letter and understand that the shame that was put on me was not my shame to hold. But the problem is that because shame is such a big part of that 3, we already take it on anyway. And so I just took it on even more. And I had to find a way to release my emotions because I hold them in so tightly. And then I have to be, you know, some of the things about 3s are that you want to take over the room almost in some ways. I find that I am always trying to help people improve. I find things and I want to make it better. And I did that in my marriage forever, but it wasn't working. And so it was just the accepting of what I am, and that I need to actually try to move away from the shame because it wasn't mine to take on to begin with. And that knowing that that was part of the type system or the Enneagram 3, that I could just move towards the actual good things that a 3 has, instead of, you know, holding on to the things that are not mine to hold on to.
Right. And also, instead of resisting.
Yes, because I'm resisting it all the time. And so then and then I hold it all in my body. And then my muscles are tight. My chest, I can't breathe. My chest is so tight. I had to get that opened up this week. And it was bad. It's been a bad week.
So what did you lean toward as far as like the positive sides or the other sides of Enneagram 3?
So it's okay for me so I'm an achiever, right? So I want to achieve things. Right. So what I have to then do instead of like wanting to help everybody achieve things, I have to figure out, what do I want to achieve? What are my goals? And I'm going to focus down on those and prioritize those. And it's also having to actually push other things out to the side. So I had to make some hard boundaries, and I keep doing that. And so the letter I wrote to my ex was putting the blame back on him, or the shame back on him, and telling him that it was not mine. I'm not sending it to him, but my therapist made me read it to her, which actually was really rough to do. And yeah, so I'm still working through it, but
was it a really helpful exercise to read the letter to her, even though it was rough?
Yes.
You know?
I had to do that yesterday. I had the body work done on Wednesday night, and I was so exhausted yesterday. I couldn't believe it.
A lot of processing.
Yeah, a lot of processing.
Just for 3s is what causes me stress. The pressure that comes from basing how good I feel about myself on how much I get done on stats, prestige, and power, not knowing my real feelings and values, doing too much.
Is that 3?
That's 3.
Yeah, it's bad. Yeah, I don't. It kind of is interesting because I feel like it actually plays with FI Trickster a bit too there, because I don't know my value at all, and unfortunately, the marriage made it worse. And I have always tried to overachieve. I mean, I thought I was lazy and couldn't do anything, and Vince had to tell me that no, you are an overachiever and you need to slow down.
Yeah, so 8s and 3s can really try to pile on the achievements to
Yes.
find their place in the world.
Yep.
That's why usually that Enneagram is the home of ENTJs, because they sacrifice who they are and whatnot just to get shiny achievements, and that's what makes them happy. I definitely love to get those achievements.
Right?
I mean, it is what it is. That's how life is.
Yeah.
So I have a question. Sorry.
Yes.
When it comes to Enneagram, and so you guys are talking about like you're an 8 and then you're a 3. How much does like having one of those as like a wing influence kind of how your behavior is? Does that make sense?
So the Enneagram in itself is 1, right? So it's like a 5, but then you could be a 5W4 or a 5W6, okay? And whatever the wing is, you take on a little bit more attributes of the other type. So if you're a 5W4, you're taking on some of the 4s into your 5. And if you're a 5W6, which is like the typical INTJ, like Jordan, maybe. Jordan, you there? Can't see you, man. It's all blacked out. You're gonna be more introverted. You're gonna be more like Shelly them. It's gonna be because you're taking a little bit of that. But if you're a 5W4, you'll be kind of like Dario, where Dario has all this kind of energy. All kind of like, it's kind of like, if you look at Dario, you're like, I don't know if he's INTJ, you know, because the stereotypical INTJ is a 5W6. He's a 5W4, so he's like more outgoing. He wants to like mingle a little bit more than the typical INTJ that's a 5W6.
And and I think that he was saying, because a lot of that was his culture growing up that kind of influenced how it was. So yeah, it sounds like a lot of like the Enneagram influences have a lot to do with the cultural influences and nurture.
Yeah, so like what we were saying,
opposed to nature. Yeah.
Type is the tools that you have, like that's the tool you have, but Enneagram is like who you are, like the combination of everything and how you express yourself and the way you go. But type is the tools that you have. So you'll see like some of the like celebrities that are like achievement crazy, they're like 3s, you know, like Tom Brady, we think is a 3. Stacking on all those achievements, you know, be a best quarterback for this, best quarterback for that, you know, that's where he's going. He's going for that. Like we think Michael Jordan is probably an 8, you know, he's got this crazy willpower and wants to dominate everybody and shit like that. It's a little bit different, but I think it helps a lot if you guys like look into your Enneagram. It helps us get feedback on it and see where we want to move with it. I've noticed it to be a lot more powerful than just type, so highly recommend it.
Yeah, I found that like using the type along with other tools to kind of like help you, I don't know, cipher down to yourself to kind of figure out like a very refined idea of understanding yourself, so you can understand how you achieve things.
Vitaro, give it to us. What you got?
Yeah, my comment is slightly off topic, so I wanted to make sure.
Let's go. Everything is open here, man.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure I was waiting to be called on, so I don't just interrupt whatever flow was happening. But yeah, so as far as interaction styles go, one thing I noticed is that my interaction style completely changes depending on who I'm around, and it's only a very small percentage of people who can make me change my interaction style. Usually it's another ESFP. I find I find that I become responding and very direct around them. Usually only around them. There's almost no one who can make me do that except for another one. And I usually give them the stage almost all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure why, because they don't do that to me. Maybe they do. Maybe, maybe some do that for me. I just don't notice it. Maybe I think they're introverted, but I just noticed that if there's a louder one, I always get quiet.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it. It's not like it annoys me, but if anyone were to watch me interact with one, they would definitely mistype me.
I've noticed, I mean, it depends on who you're around sometimes. Like if I'm around another ENTJ and they're like loud and obnoxious or something, or like any type who's like loud and obnoxious, like more than me, I'm like, oh God, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. Or I'm gonna kill this person. So you'll see me take up more of a backstage as well. I'll take a backstage and like, man, I gotta get the fuck out of here, man.
I can't stand being around my own type. I
I
can't.
love my own type.
I think that'd be interesting. I think that would be, I mean, it'll be interesting. Would it attract viewers? I'm not sure, but it'd be interesting for a video that explores like how interaction changes between different types, especially people around their own type.
I think a lot of it is because when you see your own type, you sort of mirror and see everything that you don't like about yourself thrown right in your face.
Well, here's the thing. I mentioned specifically that I'm not annoyed by my own type. I just change, and it's fine because it's like they're doing the heavy lifting for me. I don't have to lead this group. I don't have to do any of that,
So I changed around my son, and I become direct and concrete and kind of in his face because he's an ESTP. So in order to get things done with him, it was pointed out to me that I do that. And I changed completely when I talked to my INFP daughter. So, yeah.
So which one are you more like yourself?
I'm more like myself with Vince.
That doesn't count.
Well,
I don't know. As far as who I'm like, so I can see both sides though. That's the problem. Like I always thought I was actually a really direct person. I didn't realize until I got into MBTI a little bit more that I wasn't. Because I can be pretty darn direct when I want to be. I've kind of done that all along. I would probably say I'm more like myself with my daughter because Annie just goes crazy with her and she loves to listen. She's an INFP. She likes to listen. So.
Yeah, I do think, depending on where you are, your things change. Like when I'm around my brother, one of us change. Like one of us are gonna change because we're both 8s, and I've always had this. Well, my sister's an 8 too. If all 3 of us are in a room, our egos like fight. Like it's like our egos are battling it out. Like I'm not even kidding. Like
wow,
I can feel it. Like whenever one of us is in a room. My older brother now, like he's always been a lot more chill than us. So he'll like take a back road. But if we're in an argument, he don't take no back road, He ain't taking no back road if it's an argument, but like generally he likes to make, us feel better. So he'll let me and my older sister like kind of get away. But when it's me and my older sister Carrie at it, dude, we go at it. Like the other day she called me and she's like, she told my mom, I don't give a damn what Mercy got to say. This is happening. And my mom told me this and I'm just like laughing. Like she's already like preparing. I think she's probably an INTJ, but she's already prepared for like my rebuttal to it, like whatever she's trying to run. Like, like my mom listens to me the most and like she'll listen to Carrie, but like overall it's usually she listens to me the most. So like she'll Carrie like, I don't give a damn what he got to say. Like, oh shit. But like I said, our egos just clash. It just is what it is. We're in the room, they just clash.
Do you know about the YouTuber EJRND? I mean, he's kind of like almost ancient news, but he was like he was a ESTP type 8, and he said the same exact thing as you. So when he's with other type 8 leader types, then he kind of avoids them. They avoid. He says that they avoid each other. All this leader type 8.
Yes.
Interesting.
What was his name again?
EJRND. I mean, he doesn't like exist anymore on YouTube.
Oh, he deleted his channel?
Yeah.
I used to watch him way back in the day, so that's how that This is why I was asking.
Right.
I was wondering where he went.
Oh, you know what happened to him, right?
Yeah, informed that was.
He got all religious. He got all religious, and he said like the MBTI is against religion or
Oh.
Jung's work, you know.
Oh,
That's interesting because there are sources I've read that said that the gospel was written from 4 different temperaments. And
Interesting.
yeah, that's interesting. He would say it's anti-religion, but anyway.
well,
I'm
I
pretty
I could see why they would say that based on some of Jung's work when I read it, but that's
No, because if
Yeah,
you actually,
it's all cult related stuff.
they asked Young, did he believe in God? And he said when he was younger, there's a literal interview of the man talking. So you don't even have to misinterpret what he's saying. But he said when he was younger, he didn't believe in God. But now he like he's basically saying like he knows there's something out there.
yep.
Yeah, he said it's like salt. You know, it's something that's necessary.
So
Yeah.
Something like
Let-
that.
let's get into this. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and get Christian up first, man. What was your goals last month? How'd you do, and what's the goals for next month? And anything you want to talk about. Christian, we can't hear you, bro.
Oh, my bad. I was on mute. Now, goals haven't changed much. I mean, I'm going to Europe at the end of this month.
Ooh.
I'm like getting everything ready, you know, getting the Airbnbs and all that stuff.
I want you to
Stacking
disappear,
money.
boy.
Huh?
I want you to disappear, boy.
Who knows? I might, might go to Spain, never come back. It's always been kind of a dream to go to Spain for some reason.
And go
Nah, but
fuck Berlin,
I'm going to Portugal though. I'm going to Portugal, so I'm gonna be right next to it.
Run off.
And as far as like the gym goes, the same. Kind of like on a diet right now, losing weight. I got like 4 pounds to go. It's getting pretty difficult right now. But it's going. I mean, everything's good. If anything, I've been kind of, I guess, struggling a little bit with like apathy. It's like everything's kind of stable right now, so it's like I'm just going through the motions kind of thing. Like I'm not too passionate about any particular thing. I'm just kind of going day by day. So I don't know. I'm just waiting for that moment where I'm kind of all clicks and I just focus on one thing. But that's it.
Christian is essentially saying right here, guys, he's bored. He's bored. The poor boy is bored. The poor boy is bored.
It's hard to complain though, because it's like I'm basically saying it's so good that I'm bored. It's like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like I need a challenge. I need something to happen.
Can I suggest something?
What?
And I thought of this right before you said it, but we're basically almost saying the same thing. Would you, like, you're athletic, would you consider joining some kind of competition?
I've been thinking about it. I've actually been thinking about going to BJJ because I was a wrestler back in the day. I was just thinking like maybe I just need like a new discipline or like something to learn outside of work that's not like money related or anything like that. It's just for fun, So I've been thinking about joining either like a kickboxing gym or like a BJJ gym. But I mean,
I would say specifically to compete, not just to train.
Oh, to compete, man.
Yeah. I mean, it could be at any level that
You don't want that stress.
If I start competing, I'm gonna get obsessed with it because I know myself. So
well, that's exactly different from where you're at now because you're at apathy. So maybe that's where you can go for the time being, and somewhere in between is a sweet spot. Maybe after the competition, you can say, "Oh, okay, I did that," and in the process, I found this and I found that, and I like doing these things, and I could do these things more for fun. But what will get you there will be that instant jolt. It's probably the competition, but it's only temporary. You don't have to compete forever. Maybe just one will do it for you.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I might. Who knows? I might.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Hey, hop on the powerlifting wave.
Powerlifting, man.
Sign up for a bro. That'll be an easy one. You already lift.
Bro, powerlifting is like putting your joints at risk. I don't know.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Like, bro, we're in our 30s, bro, and I'm a light guy. Like my joints ain't too sturdy to like be doing powerlifting like that.
Man, get out of here.
Plus, I'm leaning, man. I want to be aesthetic. I don't want to like put on pounds. And,
Crazy bulk.
nah, I mean, I do a little something, you know. I bench heavy here and there, but nothing too crazy, you know.
You know, just a quick idea if you're trying to, that because it ain't gonna be like BJJ. You can hop in and sign up right away. You're gonna get folded. At least with power, you got to.
I'm not gonna get folded, D. I mean, I
Bruh,
got
come on
my
now.
skills still, you know. I remember.
Well, you gonna get folded. Come on now. Everybody
Bro,
know that.
Well, they're gonna put me with the other white belts, and I'm gonna wreck them. Like, let's be honest, bro.
But Christian, eventually somebody's gonna step in there. And
Obviously, the higher belts
come
who know
on, man.
how to
Like,
do
bro,
stuff,
come
they
on,
gonna wreck
man.
me. But anybody who on my same experience level, I'm gonna wreck them easy.
But they're not really on your experience level because you did wrestling, bro. I need you to stop playing around with
That's
me.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You just fooling yourself. You
I don't know.
know?
I'll let you know if I start. I'll let you know.
Let me know when somebody put their wiener in your mouth. You know. Hey, I remember one time I did the figure four with Dimitri, and that motherfucker rolled and almost broke my neck. I swear to God, man. I had this super complex, like it's like a figure four in wrestling, but Dimitri was like, he's here right here. Dimitri was like 60 pounds more than me, and when he went to bridge, holy shit! I was like, this man about to break my neck. This man is about to break my neck.
I gotta get out.
Well, he wrestled in college, didn't you?
Shit. Yeah, but it was different. It was club level. It wasn't like what is it, NCAA? I wasn't
No, I
that.
know that, but still, them college boys, you know, they're good.
That shit was different. Like, even at that level, it just lets you know how dedicated you have to be to something in order to succeed at just the next step up. That's not even like comparing it to the even further, like D2s and D1s. Like, getting to that level lets you see how dedicated. So it's like, I don't know, should put it in perspective, seeing like, oh, you know, as a young wrestling kid, the idea is like, fuck it, I'm gonna get to the Olympics, or hell, I just want to at least like make it to the trials. It's like there is so much of a skill gap between those levels. Like the dedication, the skills, the strength. It's just like you have to make it your life. And it just, I don't know, just talking out loud, it reminds me of a quote I just saw. I don't know, I watch a lot of MMA, and it's like looking at something that John Jones said, and he's just like, he, of course, is like, if y'all don't know about MMA, he's like the perennial guy. Like, he's the peak
he's the best
of the peak.
He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
He's the GOAT.
Like Hall of Famer, like he's still going. And he made a quote basically saying, like, I've trained with some of the guys that we go to these same gyms. I've been a champion at these gyms. And it's like, just me eyeing them, I see the difference. It's all about your passion for it. Like, if we have all the same materials, it's like we're working out at the same spaces. What separates us is like, okay, what am I doing outside of this time? It's like, even if we're on the same recovery, like, is my mindset the same when I'm not thinking about it? Like, am I praying on this? Am I focused on this? Am I watching film just in my free time? So just like the passion you have to have at higher levels.
Bro, I just felt like I was so stupid in high school, bro. It's like I had like half the brain capacity that I do now, basically. And like the way that we were training was so dumb. And if I could go back with my brain now and my training knowledge now, I could do so much better, you know? Because it's like basically there's an efficient way to learn things, and then there's like the brute force way of just work hard and do your best or whatever. I basically, or we all basically took the route of work hard and do your best, but our training was just not intelligent. And now when you see the kids now, they have so much more information like online to learn moves and learn like training methods and shit like that. I just wish like we had that back then, you know.
We didn't have the internet, Christian. We didn't.
I was about to say, like, it was a time.
Thing.
It was just like when we were born and the gifts of time. That's what the new generation has. Just like so much information is accessible to them. And it's the fact that like at a certain point when we were like starting to peak and starting to get some of the information, there was like paywalls for a lot of the shit. Like thinking about YouTube and the streamers in the early ages, like people who really knew like a lot of that knowledge, who are hosting some of those bringing it specifically to wrestling, hosting some of those camps, it's like, okay, you have to pay for some of this information. Whereas now it's like so much of the stuff is just free. It's like if you want to look and learn, it's accessible to you.
Yeah.
But it's not just the internet, though.
Chris, let me get Guitarro on here before you leave.
One second. Let me just finish this point. It's not just the internet, bro. It's the mentality. When you're in high school, you're a kid, like you're just like kind of stupid, you know. And then later on, it's almost like you wake up and you're like, oh shit, like my brain just activated. Now I'm here, you know. But like in high school, you just go through the motions, like whatever you're told, that's what you're gonna do, basically. Like you don't have agency at all over your training. But anyways,
We kind of trust
I had
those.
different experience
That was
in school than you, Christian.
what'd you say?
I just said I had a different experience than you.
Oh, did you?
I don't know. I'm not sure everyone just blindly followed orders.
No, well, in wrestling, you have to blindly follow orders unless you want to run like 10 miles after practice by yourself.
We'll have to
I was
wrestle
on-
Panky stinky ass.
Like there is no self-thought in wrestling. The coach basically tells you what to do, you got to do it, kind of thing.
And he
But
was
outside of practice, you could do extra stuff.
Yeah, you can do extra.
Yeah.
But Guitar, you go ahead and give us your achievements for last month and what you're thinking about going for the following month, because we know you got a call in like 5 minutes. You're muted. You're muted.
All right. Achievements for last month. Let's see here. Achievements for last month. It's so funny. I usually have goals, but I never really remember what I did. That's so funny. You guys.
SC, motherfucker.
Yeah. But well, I did have a goal of 100 million views, and I assumed that I reached it. At some point, I just didn't want to count anymore, so I told everyone that I did it.
Do you ever collab with other like YouTubers and stuff like that?
No, I mean, yeah, I have. I did one collab. Yeah, but the goal for next month is to finish 10 videos. So that's a big stretch from our usual 3 to 4 in a month. And part of it is not because we don't work on 3 to 4 videos. It's just that we might work on 7 of them and throw 3 of them out because there's quality standards. But to get 10 to quality standard where they're ready to upload is definitely something that it will take something. So that's my goal for next month. 10 finished videos.
Guitar, I heard like I watched Alex Ramarzi, and he was talking about the people who get like 100 million, like have 100 million views. They do like 20 different videos, have people make cartoons of their videos to figure out which ones they want to put out, and like do 20 different thumbnails and then limit it. But it's like nuts. Like, well, they're spending like at least 20 to 30K per video. It's fucking nuts.
Yeah, Mr. Beast spends $1 million per video now. So at least sometimes more than that. Yeah. So are you talking about like basically using volume to get a lot of views? Or are you talking about planning?
No, they're talking about not just like next level like planning. It's like next level like execution behind the scenes. Like, you know, like as people, we just see what they put out, but they're like making cartoons, like they have editors with cartoons and shit of their videos before they even like. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah. You
know more about it.
Yes, storyboarding is definitely very useful because it's cheaper to make a cartoon out of it sometimes, or like a storyboard out of it. You kind of got to know how it's gonna feel. Like there are lots of movies that we've seen, in the theater. Maybe you probably saw it on the release day, and we were like, watch the movie and it's like, damn, that movie sucked. How could they possibly spend millions of dollars on this? And we can only say that because we've seen great movies. But if that's the first movie we ever saw, and we never saw television in our lives, we would think that's the greatest thing we've like ever, because we've only saw that movie. So it's like the great movies, they are great to the extent in which they were able to field test the movie, because it's way more expensive to shoot it. So they might have many storyboards driven out. They might even have a video where the whole movie plays out with the whole script and it's nothing but drawings. It's like, how did you really feel when that ended? Was that good? And if enough people say yes, then it's like, all right, let's get the cameras rolling and let's actually shoot it. So I can totally understand that, because you really never know how it's going to land on the audience member until it does. So it's like, the more you can mitigate the cost of that, the better. So I'll be doing a fair bit of storyboarding myself, actually. So I'm glad you mentioned that.
Yeah, I know you're like up there, so I wanted to see what you thought about that. I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, that man said, like, they have like 20 different thumbnails, and then they have to limit it down to one. Like, yo, what the hell?
There's also A/B testing, which is not that good on YouTube as much as it is on Facebook and some other platforms. But you can give it like 2 thumbnails, and it will test which thumbnail is getting more clicks for you. Which is, you actually have to do that from like another YouTube plugin, basically. One of them is called TubeBuddy, and yeah. So I guess after having made 20 thumbnails, which I've done, by the way, made more than that for some videos, you can just choose the top 2 and just see which one's getting more clicks. So yeah, it will tell you after like a 3-day trial or something like that, and then it'll literally say that one got more clicks than that one, and you should go with this one instead. So
yeah, so you guys put a lot of work and thought into just one video. So you put 3 videos out a month, you said?
Something like 3 or 4 a month, right?
Okay, so because the trend on YouTube right now is like volume, right? So how did you decide that you wanted to keep it towards more of the quality side when kind of like the algorithms rewarding the volume side?
It's not that the algorithms rewarding the volume. If you could replace the word algorithm with audience, you would really understand what's really happening. The thing is, like, when you open up your feed, if you like the last video of this creator, you're gonna watch another one, right? So the thing is, like, how often is that creator showing up on your feed? If they're only showing up on your feed once a month, then there's a good chance your feed is going to get filled up with other people. So, it really depends on, do they have a video that you really like, a style that you really like, that if they posted volume, would you still watch every video? It's not really the algorithm rewarding it. It's more so the audience. The audience is the person rewarding it. So the reason why
the creator.
Was that
Rewarding the creator for
exactly
whatever they're providing, whether it be like their format or something unique that they're providing. Is that?
Yeah, it could just be their face. It could be the shape of their nose. You never really the audience doesn't necessarily know what it is. So that's part of the reason why creating a lot of volume is good, because you increase the likelihood that you'll find an audience that just likes the shape of your ears or something like that. So so the reason why Mr. Beast doesn't release any videos in like a whole month, and then we'll drop a video and it'll get 25 million views in one day, which is what his last video did, is because he just makes the satisfaction level so high that
builds up that anticipation. Like,
well, it's not about building anticipation. It's not about that. Trust me, it's not about that. It's about the satisfaction of the last video. Well, actually, sorry, anticipation is part of it, but anticipation doesn't matter unless the last video was so freaking dope.
Right.
And the reason why it takes so long to come up with those videos is not because he's like trying to hold out. It really does take that long, So, and I'm saying this with 1 minute left. What do you call it? If the last video that he uploaded, if the satisfaction level was so high and so insurmountably, incomparable to anything that the audience has ever seen, then the moment he comes up next time, they will absolutely watch it, even though they haven't seen him in a month. So that's really the point of him putting that much money into the video, because he's creating something that is so distinguishable from everything else. And it doesn't always work. He's had some videos, like, for him, 10 million views on first day is a bad day. So yeah, he's only had 2 so far. His last video broke the record of another video that came out a year and a half ago. So he's probably been trying to break the record of that video, hasn't been able to do it in a year and a half. So, but the last one worked. So that's what happened. Yeah.
PRs, man. All right, man. Guitar, we know you got to go, man.
Thanks for having me. This was great. I appreciate it. See you guys
All
later.
right, man. Hey, I'm gonna check out your channel, man.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Let's run down on Sarah. Give us yours. Let me grab my cup here. Oh.
Okay, my goals. Well, some of you know, I shared a little bit. On top of my own personal stuff, my daughter is going through some significant health issues. We don't really know what they are yet. We're getting a battery of tests done. They apparently came in today. We'll find out more on Monday. We think there might be a thyroid or adrenal issues. We're not really sure. So I guess one of my goals was to really double down on that, try to get her healthy. We're doing a specialized diet for her that pretty much eliminates grains. It's called the GAPS diet. She's got no grains, a lot of stocks, a lot of meat, a lot of vegetables, no dairy. So we're trying to do that to help her. So that's taken a lot out of both
And
of us.
let us know. Me and Christian are really good with like lab results and stuff and tests.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
just let us
Awesome.
know what
What we see. Okay.
and
Great.
probably like help you to.
That would be awesome because
that's literally all we do.
yeah, that'd be awesome because I'm looking at we're gonna be just we're doing everything that we can. So I'm hesitant to do any extra supplements yet, too many extra supplements until we see what she might be deficient in or not deficient in. I did increase some of her vitamin D, but that's fairly easy to do. Yep, D3 with K. Yep.
Like a TSH levels or anything like that?
She said she was going to do everything. So I'll let you know when we find out. Supposedly we're going to be talking to her doctor on Monday. If we don't find a lot from her, I'm going to keep going because this is ridiculous. She's 16. She's been dancing forever. So she works out, she eats healthy, she exercises, and her exhaustion is so extreme right now that sometimes going up a flight of stairs absolutely kills her. She's got thyroids, like hypothyroidism or adrenal fatigue symptoms. So, but that's just from what we've tried to figure out. We're going to the doctors. If I have to, I'm going to keep going and find somebody else. Now, we love our doctor. She's not just going to give up on her. 3 years ago, we had her levels tested. Her D was too low then. So, and she has a therapist. So we're working through that. But it's been an emotional couple months for all of us with what we've been put through. So my goal was to try and help her with that. We made a plan for her. We made a food plan. She's sticking to certain schedules of food. She's pretty much doing it on her own, and I'm helping her. And I'm trying not to be too worried, but she's struggling. She's not feeling good. I'm reading one of Young's books because this summer I'm going to be doing Young. I pushed back school until August because we have so much going on. I want to start in fall instead of trying to smash everything into summer while I help my daughter get better. I'm probably reading like 3 books right now. The other one is the one I posted. And then I was working on healing for myself because some of the newer issues showed me I needed some extra stuff. And I kind of shared that earlier where I'm doing my therapy sessions, working on that. Trying to I'm growing. Let's just put it that way. I'm growing and I'm kicking and screaming a little bit doing it, but I am growing. So, and then this next month, keep going with what we're doing. My daughter's got to get through her dance recital, which is a lot. My son's going to be doing a Taekwondo black belt tournament first weekend of July. Vince is moving here June 19th. So, yeah. So it's a lot, but working on my boundaries with people, accepting that, what I can fix for myself and what I can't and what is okay. So, yeah.
Perfect. That's awesome. Wish you best. Keep us updated on how things go. But let's go ahead and get Mr. Leon on here.
Yay.
Hey, buddy. How's it going? Yeah. Okay. So in terms of writing, I've been doing good. I mean, I used to write much less, but I'm writing a lot more, and because I have the goal of writing an hour a day, right? So by having that goal, I write 4 hours a week, probably. That's what it comes down to. But like, it pushes me enough. But like, the more I get into, the easier it is. That's what I find with things like when you provide space to do something, then just becomes easier. Like it becomes more intuitive how to get into the rhythm of it. So I'm feeling good about that. And something I've also been working on is so I don't know if I told everybody here, but I live in an intentional community.
Who?
So I live in an intentional community. So it's basically, well, there's basically eight houses, and there's probably like about 65 people living in these 8 houses, and we kind of we form a community together. So I know, like, I know you're laughing. I know, like, the first thing that might come to people's minds is a commune. A commune would be like something where people are pulling in income, but we're not pulling in income. So it's kind of like, a more involved version of co-housing. So like we share meals like dinners basically. So like 5 times a week we have dinners, we have like events together. They celebrated my birthday. So it's fun. Our leader is ENTJ, so she runs the whole thing.
Hey,
So
Chris, you hear that? He lives in a place. What is it called?
it's an intentional community. Yeah.
Intentional community where they have
Yeah.
What?
It's an intentional community. So people like choosing to live together. So like there's like 8 houses, but like, yeah, you know how there's fences between the houses, and the houses are knocked down so that you can build.
You live in a cult?
Basically, I live in a cult.
Damn.
Yeah, and then we have like pathways that like link
And you
up
have
the
a
houses
supreme leader?
together. Kind of. We have leaders in the community. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was
What are you doing?
it was actually started by like some hippies back in the
Oh, good
the
Lord.
80s. They're old now,
Are
but
you
it's fun.
Are you there with your
Yeah.
girlfriend?
What? I don't have a girlfriend.
Okay, good.
Good.
Usually the supreme leader usually has access to everybody's girlfriend. That's how it works. If I was gonna start a community, that's how I would do it too. So I don't really judge, but I would never participate in such a thing. That's but
I mean, it doesn't have like an ideology. Ideology could be like a different. Yeah,
That's
you
what I
could
was
be of
gonna
different
ask.
political backgrounds. Yeah, people have
You
different
have your own
political
room?
backgrounds.
You have your own room?
Yeah, I have my own room here. Yeah.
So what type of government
Rooms,
is
eh?
in your is the system?
That's a complicated matter.
Is it
Yeah.
what, like a communist government in there?
No, it's not. It's not communist. Everyone has like their own job, so we're, all of course like working within the capitalist system. So,
No,
yeah.
but within the community, do you share resources? Like, do you pay them?
Yeah, I think it makes sense, because think about it this way, like, say you have a suitcase and your suitcase is like sitting in your closet, so if you have like communities, it's like, hey, I want to go traveling. Does anyone have a suitcase? And you can just like lend them your suitcase. So
Do they
have
let
like
you
an email
travel?
server. No, you're not allowed to
Blink 3
leave your
times if
room
you
for
need us to
23
call the
hours of the
authorities.
day. There's only 1 hour where you can leave.
Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right.
How
But
long are you there for?
I've been there for 7 years. Here for 7 years
Oh.
total.
Oh,
You've been there for
damn.
7 years?
Yeah.
I mean, he's still
New York?
alive, so it's not that bad.
Yeah,
must be a good
I'm
system.
alive, just only
Yeah.
brainwashed. That's all.
Yeah.
Wow. 7 years.
It's yeah, but it's a lot of fun piece. It's like you have like a bunch of friends you hang out with. You could like
It's like college.
hang out at like 2 a.m. and yeah, it's like college. Yeah, it's like it's kind of like college, but like everyone's like older.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
so it's kind of nice. Like you just kind of like, I could just like go and hang out, like just go across the street and just like talk with people, and like
That would be kind of nice. I ain't gonna lie.
but yeah, but I have like a project.
Oh, look
that
at
I'm kinda,
Christian.
like well, I have a project that where like when we have discussions together, I'm making it more trauma informed. So I bring in my expertise in psychotherapy, and I've been giving been holding discussions about like how we could communicate, but in a way that's like understanding trauma. So like, because one of the things that they're interested in is like the idea that you have a community, and say you have like a dream or like an idea you want to realize, then you could go out and realize and people come to support you. So you could get people from a community to, you can form a small group and then they'll support you on whatever. It's like kind of like this group here, like everyone's like supporting each other, right? So that's like one thing. And one of the things is that they encourage like a bit of like direct feedback. So, you know, if they see like, you know, there's something that you want to work on, you need to work on, and they'll just like tell you, like if you agree, right? They just kind of like give you direct feedback. But you know, that could be kind of like, you know, potentially intense. So I'm trying to like balance that out with a trauma informed approach, right? So like, you know, show like understanding of towards people. Everyone has, you know, they might carry their own trauma or whatever, but like, but also like still incorporate that direct feedback piece where, you know, you're getting like, you know, the straight dose, like you know, you're getting like, you know, people, you know, something, you know, you're doing, you have like a troublesome behavior. It's like, you know, you rather, I think it's better to hear about it, right? So, so I've been working on that project. In terms of dating, I think you might think this is an interesting thing. So like, maybe like before COVID, I had like a social experiment where I went to, you know, about Bryant Park in New York City.
I don't know anything.
So it's a park there, and it's a public park. And I went there and I set up a sign that said 5-minute date. It's like, it's a way, yeah, 5-minute dates. I put up a sign on a table that said 5-minute date. And our girls would come up and we would have a 5-minute date.
Dude, you're a bold
it's kind
motherfucker,
of...
Leon. Leon, you're a bold
Let me ask you a question.
You're a bold motherfucker.
Yes.
What's your game plan when you got 5 minutes and you're going on a date? How do you do it?
How do I do it? Like a
what's your
game plan? I don't know what like you mean by game plan. I just like sit and talk basically.
But
it's like sit and connect.
Is there a purpose to the date? Like you want to meet somebody, right?
Yeah, but it's also like a social experiment too. It's kind of just like for fun.
Was
Yeah,
there
I would
something?
have treated it serious. I would have been like, all right, this is the game plan. As soon as they sit down, this is what I'm gonna do, you know, step by step.
Okay, so if it was a social experiment, what did you want to gain from the social experiment?
I just want to see like how people react. So like, you know, I have all sorts of reactions. Like some people laughed at it, right? Some people pass by and they thought it was like a cool idea. They wave. Some people come by, they're not necessarily interested in it, but they just thought it was a cool project. And we talk with each other, or you know, they could come by for a day.
Leon, you a bold
like it'd be like a girl comes by. Sometimes you know, their family is there, so like, you know, their girl could come up and her dad's like standing right behind her, and we'll have like our date.
How many people?
INFP. That's real bold INFP.
How many people went over the 5 minutes?
Some.
Okay.
How many numbers did you get?
Yeah.
Some numbers. Yeah. Yeah.
Leon said stop pressing him. Just know it works.
Leon. Okay.
Some people just treat me more like some sort of like
performance art.
Taurus gimmick. You know, just like another strange thing in New York City.
Yeah.
But basically, you know, I grew up with social anxiety, so it's like kind of like a way to kind of like reach, you know, kind of like
you see how my boy Leon,
my comfort zone.
INFP out there performing like that. That's what
That's
Okay,
awesome.
so if you had 5 minutes to attract a girl, what would you do?
Well, you know me.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. I mean, I
what?
pretty much do that now when I go to the bars.
Exactly.
No.
So what would you do? What's your strategy?
Yeah, it's kind of like better than a bar. It's like because they, you know, they come to you, you know.
No. You gotta go for women. They never come up to you. But you go up to them and you say, "Hi, what's up?" This is my new dating strategy here. This shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying now. But like, but the funny thing, well, I got kicked out in the end, so
Of a bar?
of the park.
Oh
The security guy came over and he just kicked me out.
Yeah, this guy is the most boldest INFP I've ever seen, man.
What's your new strategy?
So what my strategy is now is I just go up and talk to a girl and I'll just so I'll say, hey, what's your name? Blah blah. She'll say whatever, and then I'll look at her and I'll be like, hey, can I guess if you're introverted or extrovert? Boy, this line works. Fucking go.
I'll bet it does.
It works
that's a
go
good
because
one.
you know what? I'm trying to figure them out, and then they want you to play the little guessing game with them. So then I say, it doesn't matter whichever one it is. I try to guess it right. I try to, but it doesn't even matter. Sometimes I make them do a spin around, but man, I got to do a spin around. Girls love to be spinning around. I don't know what it is. Their lies say they don't, but they fucking do.
What's a spin around?
Like the dancing move.
Literally
Oh, just
spin
like
the
that.
girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
I love it. It's
And
amazing. It's wonderful.
And so I'm like, oh, I gotta get a spin around to be able to accurately figure this out, right? You know, it's all bullshit.
Wow, Mercer. Oh.
But then I guess, and then they say, oh, well, no, I'm actually X, and I'm like, oh, so tell me more. Like, if they say, oh, I'm extroverted, then maybe I'll find some extroverted. But I should have known that when I was looking at those green highlight green nails or whatever. And then we just keep talking from there, and then they ask you, oh, so what do you do here for? And then you say, oh, I'm here with my buddies over there. And then they ask you what you do for a living, and then you tell them, and then boom, hook, line, and sinker, you got a connection with people. And then you pull in a little bit more typology shit, and it works like a charm. And then the girls just love it because it's like you like figuring them out. Like someone actually like taking the time to actually understand or care for them. And that shit took my shit to the next level, to the point to where I'm not even bullshitting. At this point, I have over 10 girls that like I don't even message. Like, it's like they want to see me. I had 4 dates on Thursday, and I only went on 2. Okay.
Wow.
4 on Thursday?
4 on Thursday, and I only went on 2. Okay.
That sounds very.
Yeah.
I was talking with the ENTJ, and she schedules all her dates like on like one day. She sits in the cafe, and it's like just like one appointment after the other.
Well, I don't do that because you can't do that. See, she can get away with that because she's a woman. I can't get away with that. Like, if I did that shit, the girl might throw a drink in my motherfucking face, you know? So, you know, so I can't do that shit there. But yeah, it's been going up a lot. I've noticed that one ENFP video I dropped in the group where the guy was like a hobo, literally a hobo, and he was like getting women. And I told myself, yo, this broke motherfucker can do this shit. There's no excuse for no man. You just walk up, give a woman a compliment, start it from there, and then just slowly go from there. And I'm telling you the shit, you'll be surprised with how many women actually think you are more attractive than you think. Like, a lot of people like put themselves out of the window, but a lot of times if you just like get the conversation going, things go a lot better.
Yeah.
I'm
I
curious.
think so. Yeah, that's a good point.
What you say, Jordan?
So Leon, so I'm curious if you're thinking about repeating this experiment with more pointed questions. If you want to, well, I would say if you want to be extremely discriminatory, I would just straight up ask, what is your purpose in life? And that will usually weed out everyone who doesn't want to talk to you right off the bat.
That's a very INTJ question.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but like yeah, I think to Mercer's point, that makes a lot of sense. Actually, like one time you know, I saw a cellist playing out in Central Park, and I thought he played pretty well, so I was like, hey, can I play some cello like music with you, right? And then we actually met up to play, and he was actually like very impressive. Like, he makes all his money through busking, and he's like crazy good. So I thought I could not like keep up at all. Like, my skills were not there. And he asked me, oh, can you do this and that? And I said, I can't do this, I can't do that. But after we met up and we played music, he invited me to come play at weddings with him, and I could make extra money. So I was like, wow, you know, like, this guy in terms of music is like out of my league, but like, it's like, you know, it's actually possible. You just like go up and just like, you talk, and you know, it's really about like the energy and connection. We had like a good time, basically.
Dude, I'm like, to the point with like going out and shit has gotten so bad to where it's like I go out and girls are like, that guy's a hoe. Like, last weekend, like the girls like friends. Yo, this is bad. I got to tell y'all this story. Okay. They can see.
Oh God.
So I went out with a girl last week for Thursday. I went out with a girl. She's in 3rd year dental school. She's a pretty cool girl. She's an INTJ, right? Date went great, right? So then the next day, like, you know, the boys all come to my house on Fridays. Everybody comes to Mercer's house. We get drunk, and then we go to the bars, you know, because I live close, like within a 2 to 3 minute walk to the bars. So we all go to the bars, whatever. And like, the bartenders and everybody know me, so like the line's usually right around the corner, but we walk straight in there, right? So we walk in there, We're having a good time. We're drinking. And I see one of her friends. Now I'm drunk, but I'm not that goddamn drunk. And I just asked about the girl or whatever, and I was kind of nice to her. And then later on, like I said something to her, but I was talking to other girls in there. And I guess her friend knew that. I mean, I guess she was talking about me or something. But the next day I like texted the other girl that I went on a date with Thursday. And I'm like, hey, what's up? And she was like, oh, I heard you had a really good night. I'm like, fuck. And I'm like, you know, I was asking about you a lot. And she was like, well, I'm gonna tell you this. Typical INTJ, gotta save her face. I'm not interested anymore. I heard you were talking to my friend. And I'm like, oh, this motherfucking lied on me. This, because I was just nice to her. I didn't like try to hit on her or anything like that. But I'm like, oh, this person lied on me. That's how things go like that. So I went out that Saturday, right? And I seen the girl out who told me she wasn't interested in me. And I was like, man, fuck what she's talking about. She's interested in me. I'm gonna go up and talk to her. So I went up and talked to her. But you know how INTJs is when they gotta save their face and her friends were around, so she had to look stern or whatever. So I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna go downstairs and go talk to some other girl. So I go downstairs, I'm talking to this other girl, get her phone number, right? Her friends come up, like a posse of like 5 girls from dental school, and was like, nah, you can't talk to this guy. This guy's a hoe. He's a bad shit. And I'm just like sitting in my head. I just got this smile on my face, like cotton candy camera, like, and I'm just like, yo, this shit's horrible. And my ESFP cousin said, boy, you keep this shit up, some girl gonna throw a drink in your face. And I said, oh shit, this, so
So you've been good since then?
I've been trying to chill, but
When are you gonna pick one?
huh?
When you gonna pick one?
Vincent. You gotta find the right steed.
You aren't a young man anymore. When you gonna pick one?
Hey, Vincent, you got to find the right steed,
Okay.
the right horse. You can't just pick any horse, Vincent, or you'll be bucking at the end of the horse, at the beginning of the horse. Beginning of the ride. You only make it halfway. You got to pick the right horse to win the race.
Bro, you fumbled that analogy.
I did. My brain was Vincent put me on the fucking spot, man. But he
No, more importantly, Adam, what are you doing, bro? I want to hear some of your stories. Yeah. What you been up to?
Well, this past weekend was my birthday.
Oh shit!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Leon.
What was that?
Damn.
Late birthday, Leon.
Oh yeah, thank you so
Happy-
much. Yeah.
My birthday is tomorrow.
Happy birthday, everybody. I'm just gonna get it out.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mercer.
I'm gonna give it to us.
And so really fun weekend. Got to see my parents. A lot of my friends from all over Florida came to visit. And hung out with another group of friends. That's pretty much the most exciting thing that happened recently.
No, Adam, I didn't mean with the friends, bro.
Oh, you mean the achievements?
I meant with the girls. What you doing with the girls?
What about the goals?
Right.
Adam, drop us the goals. Don't be listening to Christian. What's the goals, man?
Goals.
Christian, bro, you can't be pressing INFPs like that, bro.
What are you talking
You need to
about?
calm down, bro.
What are you talking about, man?
Get your SC parenting check, boy.
Oh, Adam,
Adam know
are
what
you
I'm
an
talking
INFP?
about, man, he
We
pretends
think
like he
Adam's
don't
an
know.
INFP. We haven't really did it, but he sounds like an
No,
INFP.
he is. We have like the same shirts, like blue with.
I
the
know.
white
Look
dot.
at you two. You guys look so alike right now.
Ooh,
Like twins.
Exactly.
Exactly.
ooh.
Adam's an INFP, bro.
Bro, I don't know what that means, bro. What are you talking about?
Well, then you need to pick up a book and read.
Go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
All right. My goals at the beginning of the last session was basically to cut and stick with my professional development. I feel like I've been doing both pretty well, and I've gotten a lot of insights. So, since I think the beginning of it was the beginning of April, I've lost 10 pounds.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'm still, as far as I can tell, not really close to being able to see my abs. So I'm not sure how long to extend my cut for, or if I really want to extend it to that point. But I did learn that it being on a cut was not as bad for me as I thought. I thought I was going to be really hungry, and turns out if you eat enough vegetables, that's not really a problem for me, at least.
Yeah.
Because they're very filling, low cal. So I've been doing that.
Brussels sprouts.
For me, it's potatoes, broccoli, and red peppers. And then for fruits, I'll do bananas and blueberries.
Now, question: you want to keep cutting till you see your abs?
And that was the original goal.
How much do you weigh right now?
I weigh 164.
Okay, 164. 164. And we're like the same height, right? About the same
Yeah.
height. Can you just stay the same weight? Stay the
I
same
could.
weight? And do you work on your abs? Like, do you?
Yeah. I'm wondering, I only have like so I have one exercise for like my abs and one for my obliques. I feel like I exercise my lower back through my other leg workouts, so I don't really have something for that, but that's where I'm at with that right now.
How much did you weigh in college?
I don't remember. It probably fluctuated, to be honest, but about what I weigh now.
Damn.
Yeah, because I don't think you didn't have abs in college.
No.
I think you just need to add muscle, man. You just need to add muscle.
I'm more than happy to add my cut sooner than later. So if you think that's the solution, I'm happy to try that for
but don't bulk.
next year.
Don't bulk. Just do like keep a maintenance level of calories, like stay the same weight, basically.
That was that was actually the other insight, because I think part of what happened was I was gaining muscle, maintaining for like most of last year, and at some point I hit a plateau, and I'm like, oh shit, I need to bulk. So I set my calorie counter to bulk, and I never turned it off. So it was like I was kind of gaining half a pound a week for like an unlimited number of weeks, when I probably should have just been like, okay, maybe gain 1 pound over 2 weeks and see if that makes a change. And if it doesn't, then maybe keep going. But just try to focus on maintaining, and then if necessary.
I think you kind of I think you need to go the Mercer route.
What's the Mercer route?
Don't think about it too much.
Okay. That's what got me into this mess in the first place.
But I think you're overthinking it. Like, basically, you need to add, like, you don't have the maximum amount of muscle that you can put on your frame yet. Like, you don't have to be so anal. You just gotta eat and lift hard, basically.
What I would say is build a stable base of muscle.
Yeah.
And then
you don't have your base built yet.
You have more manipulation and more control over it.
Yeah.
So build the muscle, because the muscle will burn calories just by existing, and it'll make you feel good. And obviously, if you make you feel good, then you'll just perform better, just natural. So I will work on that, but you don't have to change your calories or anything. Just try to lift heavier.
Well, you can change your calories, but you don't have to measure it out so anally that you're like, oh, I'm gonna increase 1 pound over 2 weeks instead of half a pound over 8 days or whatever. Like,
it's just the MyFitnessPal app. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing, like, it's doing the calculations for me. So
yeah, but I would just keep your weight stable. So you said you were 165, you said?
Basically 164, but
yeah, so like 164.
This is what I would do. I would train for numbers in the gym. So set a goal for what you want to bench, squat, whatever, and go for those, and not so much the weight. Go for those and not the weight.
I mean, for me, it's I don't know if this makes a difference, but for me, what I do is I'm just like, my goal is to get more reps and weight than last week on every exercise.
But it's not that, but just take a long-term approach. Like, okay, I want to bench 275.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do what it takes to get to 275, because by the time you get there, your body will be in a grown and change to 275, the 275 limit. And then, once you're done with all that, then you can be like, okay, I want to cut a little bit of weight. Now you have more muscle and you can cut. But like think about just overall just gaining strength. That's something.
Oh.
It's on.
For me, I'm thinking of just continually gain strength until I hit March of 2024, and then I try cutting again.
Yeah, but just put a ballpark number that you want to hit.
Right. Okay.
Going to that. Just
All right.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
say you want to hit 275 on the bench. Okay, and that's what you're gonna be shooting for. Everything's shooting towards that. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
my
I
advice.
agree with that. I think like you're being way too anal with the numbers when you're not there yet. You know, like there's no point in really being that specific if you haven't had your base of muscle built yet, you know? Like maybe like once you build a base, and even then, like once you build a base, you still got a couple of years where you get to be flexible, you know. It's only after you like year 4 or 5 where the progress really stalled, that's when you really like want to get more specific, especially like on your cuts and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Well, keep it up,
Yeah.
man. You're doing good,
Yeah,
man.
but do what Mercer
Yeah.
said, like get some like number goals for certain lifts and like strive towards them goals, you know, because like if you can bench 225 for reps, like you're gonna have a big chest or a big triceps, one of the two, you know, like it is what it is. Like there's no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like you ain't gonna be skinny as hell benching 225 for reps.
This is
It ain't gonna
another
happen.
way to just like change your mind to look at something else. But by doing that, you will gain something else. It's just a way to just change your mind, look at something else.
Yeah.
And then once you cut and you have more muscle, you'll see your abs easier.
Well, you'll feel a lot better. Everything flows from that shit, man. Like shit just flows.
Yeah.
But yeah, Vincent, let's go.
Oh, well, I don't really have much to report, honestly.
It's been 3 months. You better have some shit to report.
Well, I finally healed my arm up because I kind of hurt it working out 3 months ago. And now it's feeling like I'm ready to get back in the gym finally. Not that I go to the gym, but I'll be lifting some weights. And I finally, after 25 years, bought myself an actual nice vehicle. I got myself a Bronco finally. I'm pretty happy about that. I've been driving beaters for years.
Who had the damn Bronco? I can't think of who had it.
OJ.
You better be afraid.
Oh yeah, OJ. Yeah. So everybody
afraid.
sent me a bunch of
OJ,
OJ. Everybody sent me a bunch of OJ jokes already as soon as they found out. So yeah.
The new Bronco's pretty nice though.
Yeah, I like it. I've been driving I used to work in DC area, so we called them Beltway beaters. So I've been driving basically junk cars for years, and I finally was like, I can't take this anymore. My other one just completely got decimated and got towed all in the same day, and I was like, nope, we're done.
I just can't stand that. I just can't stand like an unreliable ride. Like,
well, it wasn't unreliable.
Damn.
It wasn't unreliable until all of a sudden it was in like 2 weeks. It just imploded. So
you stop and you gotta have somebody tow you here and then tow you. Too much stress for me, man. It's too much stress.
And the only
keep like a decent car.
Big goal I got going on is I'm just trying to finish up this move out to Iowa. You know, moving out to be with Sarah. I got a place out there, and I just got to pack up the Bronco, and I'm leaving week after next. I got some family stuff I got to take care of first, but otherwise, yeah, I don't have any other major goals. Not right now. I got to get this move complete, and then I can focus on the next thing.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
It's Iowa, all the way out to Iowa. What they call Buckfuck Iowa? What they call?
I've never heard that one, but sure.
Buttfuck Egypt.
What'd you say?
Buttfuck Egypt.
Yeah.
I heard Buckfuck Iowa and shit like that. All the way out to Buckfuck Iowa.
I will say this. I was looking up some stuff about Iowa, and I realized I don't know anything about it because I never think about it.
Nobody thinks about Iowa. They're like, isn't that like where corn in Nebraska is? Like,
yeah.
No.
I hear there's a lot of people that are moving to Iowa.
Yeah, it's kind of becoming a place now.
It's
growing. I forget what city, but my buddy who's a plastic surgeon, he moved out there.
Yeah.
Iowa City?
Practice. I can't remember exactly what city. I have to look and see, but he moved out there and he told me about it. Him and his brother opened up a practice together. One's like a eye doctor.
Oh.
And
Nice.
Eye surgeon, and they're twins. One's an eye surgeon, the other one's a plastic surgeon. So they moved out there and started it. It is, let me see. It is, Meriden. Meriden, Idaho. Oh, shit.
Idaho?
Idaho.
Okay, it's not Iowa, it's Idaho. I was like, wait a second.
My bad, man. I'm not-
That's so funny because I was just putting in on my phone Iowa people moving there, and actually says Iowa ranks 8th in the country for most people moving away. So it's kind of confused, but it's Idaho, right?
Oh yeah.
Idaho.
Yeah.
Everyone's moving to Idaho. There we go.
Idaho. Okay.
I don't know why it was same shit. Damn,
ha-
Vince, you might. Hey, Vince, you don't want to move there. Everybody moving up out of there.
I'm happy. I'm good. Let them leave. I'll live
It's
out
actually
there by
growing a
myself.
lot in this area.
Yeah. Well, cheap
So.
places, right?
I like to be off the grid.
Let be off the grid, but that's good.
A little bit. Nah, I like to be like grid adjacent.
Maybe you get some good internet, huh? Over there in
Yeah.
Iowa.
Yep.
Well, go ahead and drop it on us, Jordan.
Yeah. So, I've done 0 working out in the past month. There's no.
Oh,
doubt about that.
goddamn, Jordan.
I
Feel your soul
was
today,
doing
either.
excellent. I was doing excellent in February and March, and I just got swamped with this case. So, I'm involved in a lawsuit, and it is ridiculous. People are trying to steal money from millions of people, and I'm involved in it. And so, not in stealing, the not getting stolen, that part of it. Just to be clear. And so, trying to defend against that, but it's a lot of work, and it's just refuting a bunch of bullshit and lies 24/7. But I'm a pretty introverted guy, so it's not amazing. But my name is now all over the internet. It's completely exploded.
I'm about to go look that shit up.
Yep.
Yeah, it is all over for people who read, about 40 seconds of a legal document and come with some completely ridiculous conclusion on all ranges of the spectrum, whether I'm, an angel or the worst person in the world. So there's that. But what's funny is people who are notorious liars are now calling me an idiot. So, riddle me this. If someone who can't tell the truth calls you an idiot, it probably means they're a threat, or, you're speaking truth that's a threat to their narrative. So that's what's going on now. And so that's what I'm busy. So so my whole mission of the 100, not sit-ups, the other one, the 100, I totally forget what his name is, but that is on pause for the moment. So hopefully, once this thing is over, that will come back to fruition.
Yeah, you out there defending your honor, huh?
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Well, keep it up, Jordan. We believe in you, man. Don't. Hey, you better let them know you're a Mongolian. You're not going down like that.
Oh yeah, they know. And now they now they hate me for it, which is a little funny. When evil people hate you, you must be doing something right. So.
Yeah. Wow. They got your name everywhere now, Jordan. Who got the Google Jordan name after this?
Yeah. Everyone's gonna go, okay, let's see.
You go to slap that shit right in the fucking Mongolian freaking front page. Look what Jordan's up to, guys.
It was funny at first because no one knew who the hell I was. And so like week 1 was like, wait, who the fuck is this person? But anyway, it's a thing, but yeah, so that's what's going on right now. Keep an eye out for whatever goes on with the stock market and if they're going to crash it or not, and hope people are looking into silver and gold and stuff. So anyway, and if you have an elderly grandpa, maybe he shouldn't be a president, and make sure he doesn't fall. Things like that.
The stock market hasn't really changed much from what I've seen.
I can tell you
going sideways.
A little tidbit. He tripped over a cord and somebody's getting fired.
Oh.
That shouldn't have been there.
Okay.
Somebody wasn't doing their job.
Well, I don't even follow that.
Or doing their job. And that's why it happened. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe.
Well, they didn't do a very good job then. They either did really well or failed spectacularly, depending on your perspective.
Right.
How do you follow it? Because I feel like they don't really have as much impact on our life as we actually think. And if we just actually take care of things that we do have, we would get a lot further than worrying about what the guy in the White House is doing.
I used to believe that, and then I saw what their actual plans were, and I was like, okay, never mind.
I don't know. I just always just feel that way. Like it'd be a lot better if Mercer just goes out the way he can control and not start spending mental energy where it doesn't need to be spent.
What are you talking about, Mercer?
Right, but you can
What are you
control
talking about?
some aspects. But the thing is, if you understand what they're trying to do, then you can still improve yourself but avoid some things. So like when I realized how deep the rabbit hole goes, I changed my buying habits. I stopped spending money at companies that were trying to kill people actively, you know? It's minor
Who's
things,
trying to
but
kill
just
us?
being aware of it. Huh?
Who's trying to kill us?
Christian coming in here hot.
He wants to just start chaos.
That's a conversation.
Yes, he does.
Well, let's just say you can read between the lines, but big pharma and big tech are good places to start with that. And I mean, listen, if you listen to the World Economic Forum, they say they want to inject everybody and want the population down to 500 million people, which is over 90% of the population of the world. So like these people aren't hiding it. You know, these billionaires, they want to do these things. So
You know what's funny?
that. Huh?
You know who's killing our sperm too? Apple's
lot of
killing
things,
our sperm
but-
with their phones.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
We put the phones in our pockets and it kills 50% of our sperm.
Yep.
They're trying to
And they
depopulate
put
the
shit in
planet.
water.
Straight up. That's
Yeah.
a fact. All the
Well, I mean, that's
plastic.
why I do that anymore. So
TI fact.
Huh?
Nothing. That's a TI fact. You heard him? That's a fact. That's a fact.
I don't know if it's a fact, but
Yeah,
I heard about that. I heard about that. Also, you know what? You know how like years ago they were telling us not to do man spreading because they said it was misogynist.
What's mansplaining?
Yeah, I remember that.
no, only women can do that. Kristen,
Bro,
only women can.
Bro, man spreading is when you like split your legs when you sit.
Mhm.
You know, because you're a man,
Right.
take up more space.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, they told us not to man spread because when you put your thighs together, it warms your balls, and it heats your balls and it kills your sperm.
Well, they said there's a scientific reason why there's man spreading. Like
So
the
basically,
legs are designed, the hips and legs are designed differently so men spread their legs. I mean, I see in the subway, like
yeah, but
women's legs go
basically,
different
they
direction.
put phones in our pockets. Then they told us to put our legs together so that they could kill our sperm so we don't populate.
You know what, Christian? Hey, Chris, I
And the
remember.
plastic. Don't
Hey, I
forget the
remember
plastic.
5 years ago, Christian was buying all of that stuff. Christian was like, yo, we can't be toxic. Bro, Mercer, bro, you're toxic masculinity, bro. I was like, what?
Bro,
Now he's totally different. Like, you know what? Mercer was right. Go ahead and tell me Mercer was right.
you know what? You need to let that go.
Huh?
You need to let that go.
Not
I didn't know.
never
I didn't
let
know
it
it was
go.
gonna get this
I
bad.
remember one
right?
time a girl was getting on his ass about toxic masculinity. I said, man, I don't give a fuck. And Christian said, well, bro, man, you know, you're a Neanderthal.
This one girl I was seeing told me I was mansplaining. I was like,
Oh, jeez.
I do this to everyone. It ain't just women.
Christian was in quicksand. You know, hey, Christian was just like
Mansplaining?
FP Inferior was in quicksand. Like, oh, somebody save me. Somebody say, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. Man, bro, people just use words against people just to just throw them off. They just throw them off. They hit you with that mansplaining, you like.
I
And that
think
shit
we
just
just need to bring toxic masculinity back, bro.
I ain't never taken it away.
We need more toxic masculinity in this world.
I ain't never took it away. It is what it is, man. Like, if you listen to people, they'll say they don't want toxic masculinity, but then it's like the world rewards toxic masculinity. So I'm going where the world rewards rely on.
Hell yeah, life is much better when you're toxically masculine.
You said
Much
what?
better.
You said
If not,
what?
you sit in your room by yourself.
You said what? What, Christian? What you said?
I said life is much better when you're toxically masculine, bro. Straight up. No one messes with you. You know, women like you better, even though they say they don't. You know, if not, then you sit in your room on Twitter and shit by yourself. Bro, the other side is just not as good, bro. So you were right the whole time. I agree with you.
Oh my God. Whoa.
On Twitter, fucking, I can't believe you said that. Nah, bro, can't do that. Can't do it.
That was awesome. Lemieux, you ready, man? Give us your spew, man. I know you've been playing chess see Elo scores getting better. You got anything?
Hey guys, I'm headed out.
All right.
We love you, man. Take it easy, man.
Hey, I want to join your community.
Come join us. We need a human sacrifice.
Hey, Leo just owned Christian stay getting owned by INFPs. I swear to God. All right, Leo, take it easy, man. Let me.
All
You
right,
got
man.
anything?
Be here. Can you hear?
Mule, you there? I don't know if he's there. All right. I don't know if he hears. Well, Demetrius, you ready?
Demetrius been gone for like half an hour. There he is.
Nah, I'm here. I had to step away from the phone for a sec, but I was
Hey,
always.
Demetrius.
ENFP ass on the phone.
Are you toxically masculine?
He ENFP, he ain't mad.
I don't know. I get a little bit of thing. It depends on who you asking.
Stop lying, Demetrius. I see you on Facebook.
And it depends on the day.
He said it depends on the day.
Hey, some days I feel like I gotta write my karma, bro. I feel like I'm such an asshole sometimes, and I go to overthinking this shit. I'm like, damn, I've been such a dick. Then other days I'm like, fuck y'all. Y'all gotta love me for who I am.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
ENFP.
Bro. It switches.
Yeah. So give us your goals, man. What's going on? What's going on with life?
Life right now, I'm trying to focus on like a couple things. Like I just got out of a slump. Like work was kicking my ass, but it was kicking my ass because I was delaying it like myself. Like there was shit I could have done earlier in the month, and I just drug my feet on it because I knew I could. And it just ended up leading up to pushing out an assignment in one night that I could have done over the course of a month. So I had to stay up to like 5 or 6 in the morning.
Did you get the result though? Did you get the result though? Did you get the result?
Yeah.
Okay
Yeah.
then.
But it's like unnecessary stress. And I've done this shit so many times. I hate myself for it every time. And I tell myself that like, I'm never gonna do this again. I'm gonna be better. And I'm like pissed at myself for 2 reasons on this particularly. Because I sat up and I was like, I'm gonna do better this time. And I did better at the beginning of the month. I started working on it. I knocked it out. Then by like, after I did that shit for a couple of days, I was like, man, fuck this. I'll do it later.
You're the starter, not a finisher.
Yeah. And it's just like by the end, I was just like, why the fuck didn't I continue the pattern of like doing it at the start and like knocking it out piece by piece? And I was like, it felt like I was on the right path at first, but it just like ended up shooting myself in the foot and just so much stress. And it's like, it was compound stress because of like over the month, I was thinking about it and not attacking other shit how I could have. So it's
the wiener from space.
Huh?
Me and Christian call it the wiener from space.
The space?
You better get that shit going, bro. You better get that shit off you, boy. Lord have mercy. That's why I really started to just, is this something I gotta do? I just attack it right then and there because I don't even want that shit up on me no more. Like I don't even want, because it stays up on you and your brain starts thinking about it. Even if you take a nap, you wake up, oh, I still gotta do X, Y, and Z. Oh, I still gotta go do this. And it's just like, nah, bro, just get that shit off the table.
It was literally like a one-day task. I ended up like the amount of work I put in was a one-day task that compounded over a month. And like you said, if I would have just sat down and knocked that shit out, I feel like this month could have looked so different for me mentally. So I think I'm gonna try and take that approach. Like, even if I gotta take the stress on early, to me, I feel like it'll be better just knocking the stress out of the way in a lump sum, letting it sit there for a month and compounding and being like, oh shit, like instead of it being like, okay, I've done it, I stressed myself out early, instead of like, oh shit, my job or some shit is on the line now, being the end of the.
Got the gun to your head.
Yeah, man, I feel you. I feel you. I do that.
It was so like just sitting and thinking about it, it pisses me off because I was like, why would I do that to myself? But no, that was a big thing for this month, just getting that out the way. Like the gym stuff for me has always been like kind of a goal, but it's like it's to the point where it's consistent. Right now, I'm just trying to really focus on weight loss. And that was, I guess, the stumbling block from this last month. Like, I did not focus on my meal prep how I should have this past month. And I know that's when I really see results. I was like, I'll really be happy if I could get to the point of losing like just 6 pounds this month. Like if I get to the point of like losing 6 pounds, and that's for me, like if I do follow my plan, do everything I know I need to, I wouldn't even think about it. Like I'll just lose that with half efforts. It's just, can I be consistent? Also, other stuff I'm trying to build into my schedule now is just, I really want to start back like focusing on meditation. Like at one point I was doing it every night. I was like trying to put down the technology at night and just focus on like 5 or 10 minutes just to myself meditating. That'll be upcoming goals for this month. Cause I was like, I felt like I was at the best, like some of my best state mentally when I was meditating. Reading again, like just really want to start small. Like if I could read a book this month, I'll be happy. Cause it's like I've been slacking on my reading entirely. Like I pick up and like I'll read, like I'm Christian, so I'll read like a Bible verse daily, but that's about it. But like actually reading something like mind development or just like building that habit of reading for like the mental gains, I guess you could say, that it gives you, I really need to add that back in to get that.
Demetrius, have you considered doing something like going on for walks or runs with like audio verses or anything like that?
Yeah, helps a lot, bro. Audiobooks.
Honestly, I think it was either between Mercer or one of my other friends. They had me motivated really looking at audiobooks one time. Like I was on it, cranking those out, but I feel like, I don't know. I don't count it the same. I feel like
It's not quite the same, is it?
It is the same, boy. What the hell wrong with you?
Depends on your learning style. So we've talked about this, but listen, if you absorb more from reading directly, then maybe that makes sense for you. But some people are more audio learners. I think that's probably me and Mercer. So I just absorb better that way. But it's just a question, to see if that would be useful.
Well, and then you can also take the strategy that I have, man. Like I play, like when I go to sleep, like I'll play the audiobook, and I might get 15, 20 minutes, but I'll play that same book for an entire 2 weeks or something. I'll play the same book no matter where it picks up on. I just keep playing it over and over and over and over. Even when I'm like sleeping or laying down, like so I get some other book out of it. Or like I'll play it in, like I have like 3 Alexas in my house, and I'll just say, Alexa, play audiobook, and then it'll just start playing it, and I'll just be listening, just passively taking it in while I'm doing other shit. And it adds up over the course of a month, man.
I guess I hadn't thought about it. Like, even if it's not like my main book that I'm trying to read, I could like have something like a different.
I do both. I have a couple physical books I'm reading, and then I have the audiobooks I read because I'm very active and I don't like to sit still. So it helps me.
Yeah, the group keeps me busy with fucking books. I swear to God, it's absolutely fucking nuts.
What kind of meditation do you do?
What was it? I was just focused on stillness. So like just 5 to 10 minutes of just like quieting my mind.
Yeah.
That's the main goal. Like, all right, can I just find that moment to like clear everything out? And then also like, I'm trying not to like overload myself right now.
Yeah.
But I do eventually, like this probably won't be this month's consistency goal, but just like journaling in the long term would be something I want to add back in. But for now, just really focus, losing weight, losing that 6 pounds, reading a book, and meditation. I feel like rounding those 3 out would really get me in a good space.
Good little baby steps.
Yeah. You hear him trying to avoid his SI period. Like I ain't trying to get burned out.
I have to do that. I can't have to start small or I'll never get there.
Started overly ambitious before, and I know like it never works. Like I'm not a person like some people can start it out, take over the world from day one. They get running and it works well for them. I've tried it multiple times and it just doesn't go for me.
Right.
I mean, it works perfectly well for me until like 2 months later, I get like sick out of nowhere, or like Like, I'll just randomly get a burnout out of nowhere. Usually I get a warning from like Nima, like, oh, I'm kind of worried for you. And then the next day, like I'm burned out. I was like, what the fuck? But it's usually like I can just go. Just go. And then like, I don't know where, like, I'll just like all my body's overheating. I used to tell Christian that all the time. He'd be like, well, what the fuck you talking about? Your body's overheating. It's because I've been going. And now my
Mhm.
body's like literally overheating. So I have to
Yep.
take literally like a week off from like everything and just sleep.
I have to do that often. Trying to learn from that one and not push so much.
But guys, that's everybody. Any thing you guys want to say before we go?
I know we are speaking about it a little bit. Like, I know. How would I get more information on the Enneagram stuff?
Oh, it's just go to the album. Me and Sarah have been posting the pages from this book and the albums, man. So just read up on them.
I am a man.
Katie posted some test
Yeah,
stuff too.
Yeah. So just we're gonna
yeah.
try to get it. That's why I tried to tell Sarah to put it in the album so that everybody could go to the albums. If you go to the group, there's a thing that says it's an albums tab. This guy, hey, I put you on that, boy. I put you on that. Mercer always saving your worthless fucking life. If it
This
wasn't
shit
for
right
people, I
here.
would let you be in life.
This shit right here is the miracle drug.
Hey,
What is it?
Hey, Chris, get on this fucking camera and tell these people how to save your life.
Oh god.
What is that?
Your entire life. Well, you wouldn't be nowhere without me.
Oh, this shit right here took
I was
5 years
prepared for
off my age.
Hey,
My
What is it?
biological age right now is
in the end, bro,
25.
it's the
Thanks
best
to this
shit, bro. Like, bro,
Everybody needs to buy it right now.
Get it.
so I bought.
I'm about to say, Christian just keeps shaking this shit. I can't even see it.
All right. Let me.
He's like,
It's called.
you're talking about Enneagram, and he's like, here, you need to buy this.
It's
No,
called
Enneagram. So I
called
actually reading
Enneagram.
a book from Tony Robbins, and it talked about David Sinclair's research in that book. And then I went and did more research on it, and then I went and bought Enneagram, and I was like, damn, bro, I'm feeling like young again, bro. Like, I'm not getting tired. I'm hitting the gym, weights going up, everything. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I tried to tell Christian, but as usually, he's stupid. He don't listen to me. I'd be like, I tell him like some shit like over a while or something. And then he finally listened to his papa. And
First of all,
yep,
it's
I want
called
to tell you, Papa.
it's called healthy skepticism.
Yes, it's a
It ain't
thing.
called healthy skepticism. Bro, my track record has told you already.
Number 2, you have more supplements than a fucking GNC, so I don't believe you about anything that you say. But I looked at the research, the shit looked good, so I was like,
You
okay,
looked
let
at
me
the
try it
research
out.
that the Papa told you.
I said, okay, let me try it out. I bought it. Initially, I was like,
You said, bro, it's too
okay, this
expensive,
shit ain't
bro.
all that. But then maybe like 3 weeks later, I was like, oh shit, I got all this energy all of a sudden. And my recovery was like pretty good in the gym. So now I swear by it. So I
Where'd
feel
you,
like when
buy
I
it
train,
from?
what'd you say, D?
Where'd you buy it from?
Oh, you can buy it online from Pro Health.
You gotta go to the site now because they're about to
Go to
ban
the
it,
site,
bro.
Pro Health.
Bro, you gotta get that shit ASAP. They about to ban that shit.
Yeah, the shit's too good. The
Because
pharmaceutical.
it's like curing people like allergies, like clearing people's
Pharmaceuticals
eyes,
gonna
like,
shut that down.
yeah, like clearing people's allergies, like
God damn, this shit is
eyesight.
expensive.
Huh?
Yeah, the shit's
Y'all,
expensive.
y'all are wild. I'm looking this shit up now. Fucking.
Hey, when they told me they were banning it, I bought 2 bags
Bro,
immediately.
the shit's expensive. I ain't gonna lie, but it's worth because
It's
it
worth
actually works, bro. It actually works. I can
Also-
explain a little bit. Basically, it like gives you the precursor for the cell to get NAD in the mitochondria.
NAD plus.
It basically replenishes like what you lose over time as you age, basically.
As you age, it decreases.
Yeah. But the shit works. It's like super bioavailable, absorbs really quickly in the body. So yeah, man. That's
Dude, I ain't gonna lie, that shit is goat. Like, I'm talking about even if I got a hangover, I take that shit. I heard David Sinclair say that shit too. He's like, oh, if you take it in and when you have a hangover, it'll go away. I took that shit. He wasn't lying. My shit was gone. And you know me, I go out every Friday and Saturday.
It is kind of pricey though, but if you can afford it, I can attest it works. So, but you gotta take it consistently though. You can't just take it like once a week or whatever. So,
But let me say it again. Dimitri, for the Enneagram stuff, all you have to do is go into the album. There's a shitload of shit in the albums, but there's a tab in the albums, and you click on it, and it has like the books in the title. I try to put the title of the books, and there's a whole bunch of pages in it. And you can just like scroll through.
Speaking of that, apparently I'm a type 1.
Type 1.
Mercer, what's my Enneagram?
You think you're type 3, bro?
What does that mean?
That you're all about like.
I'm sorry.
You're more about achievement.
I'm sorry.
You're more about achievement than you think. Because
You have to be the best dressed person in the grocery store.
Oh, that's true. That's
nice.
Yeah, I'll be dressing to go to Publix. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep. It's a
my
thing.
girl's like, "Why you looking so pretty for?" I'm like, what you mean? It's just shirts and a pant. What do you mean? Just jeans and a shirt. It's like, nah, you trying to look good. I'm gonna keep you in the apartment.
I'm like, keep you in the apartment.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
Cody was the one who said it. Cody was like, nah, man, Christian ain't no 6. He a fucking 3. I was like, yeah, that
What's a 6?
Huh?
What's a 6?
A skeptic. It's more of an SJ type thing, bro.
But I do think that if you are a really, really healthy 3, you aspire to a 6. So if you're healthy and integrated, then some of the 6 would probably come out for
when
you.
they're secured, right? They're supposed to be secured. So Christian's at a secure spot in his life right now, right?
Yes, he is. Yes, he
That's
is.
what he keeps talking about and complaining about being secure.
Yep.
So that being said, if he's secured, yeah, then he would
I
be.
don't know. Security makes me nervous.
Which is why he got a 6 on him when he took the thing. He said 6.
Right. Well, it's fine that it makes you nervous. You're still a 3. You're not really a 6. It's just that when you aspire to that, when you're aspiring, you're healthy and you're secure, then you will come off like that.
Yeah, it makes me nervous because I already know the dick from space.
It comes from everybody, man.
It can show up at any moment.
Bro, I went to the dentist the other day and they hit me with the dick from space. They said, "Sir, you got a cavity." And I was like, "It's about time we remove that old." Oh shit! What the fuck is this? Wait, am I? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
My Siri going crazy. Dude, get the fuck out of here.
I don't know how to respond to
Get
that.
out of here, man. But so I went to the dentist and I'm thinking like, oh man, I brush my teeth 4 times a day, but I eat way too much candy. I ain't even gonna lie, I got a problem. SE child. So I got in the chair, everything's going good, and the lady's like, "Oh, look like you might have a cavity here." I'm like, "Huh?" I'm gonna slap the lady. Like, is you crazy? And the dentist came in and he was like, "Yeah, man, we should talk about replacing that crown you had ever since you were a kid because like your gums are overgrown in or whatever." And he's like, "Well," I was like, "All right, man, fuck it, whatever, let's do this." And he's like, "Well, we got to do an estimate on how much everything would be." And you know what? Dick with space, $1,500.
Yeah.
Done. Just like that.
I swear to God, they just be like coming up with the numbers, bro.
Swear to God, they do. Then they be like, "Yours does this." They're like,
Bill drilling Bill.
I went to the dentist. They're like, they said the same shit. They were like, "Oh, we got to do an estimate to see how much it's all gonna be." When it comes back, $3,000. I'm like, bruh, no, I'm not paying that shit. Are you kidding me, bro? Like, just do half my mouth. I'll do the other half later because I ain't spending $3,000, bro. That's crazy. They wanted to like replace every fucking little thing I've done throughout my life.
Wow.
And it was like fucking like 14 different things. And I was like, nah, no way. I ain't doing that shit. I gotta go to Europe too. I'm like, bro, my bank account. $3,000 total. But they add on a whole bunch of other shit too.
Yeah, they were like, you got to do some gum treatment. That was $400 fucking dollars. Like, because it was like, oh, well, the crown's been there for X amount of time since you were a kid, and we're probably gonna have to do gum treatment. And the thing about the dentist is they got you by your balls. You can't say no. You can't say no. Like, who's gonna just walk around with fucked up teeth? You're just not gonna do it.
Oh, you can say no and get a second opinion.
That's what I
You
did.
don't get a second opinion, but it's like,
Yeah. I had to, because I actually had a dentist who messed up my teeth, most of a good portion of my teeth, found out later that he was high the whole time. He got his license taken from him because he was also selling the drugs, and he was high when he did the work, messed up most of my mouth. I got a bone infection.
Oof.
But if I hadn't gone and gotten a second opinion, he would have done more damage to my mouth. So yeah, I know. Go get a second opinion.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
nah, my dentist is really good. Like they're really good. Like
Good.
really good.
That shit's
The
crazy.
thing is,
bro.
you have to get a second opinion from someone you trust.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
really hard.
It is. It can be hard. I've got a great dentist now, and I'm lucky I found him, but you don't always know.
That's
Yeah.
why you see.
Gotta
That's why
really-
you see people are missing teeth and shit. Cause like, bro, some people can't afford that shit. That's
It's expensive.
like we could
expensive. It's
barely
a
afford that
luxury.
shit, and we make like good money.
Yeah.
I don't know how people do it.
Oh, you can go down to
Probably-
Mexico and get something done for nothing.
You
Hell
go to
no,
Puerto
I don't
Rico.
think that shit.
Yeah.
Puerto Rico's U.S. territory, so like the dentists are good. They don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they're
So-
gonna beat the shit out you, boy. So good. I'm talking to the dentist, right? I was like, man, it's a smell when you walk in the dentist. I ain't gonna tell her it's the smell of I'm about to get my ass tore up. You know?
I'm terrified of the dentist, bro.
Yeah, 'cause-
I have nightmares that I have to go to the dentist.
Yep. So do I now.
I ain't want to say it because she's a dentist, you know, like she whatever. But I'm like, yeah, there's definitely a smell when you walk into the dentist office. And I tell you, I have my older brother who say the same thing. You know you about to get your ass tore up. You know you about to get
Bro, I'm so scared of getting railed by the dentist that I miss the cleanings. Like I don't even like going for the cleanings.
I go
Like,
to the
yo,
Have them put you to sleep during the
'cause I
cleaning.
know like the cleaning's coming, and then there's gonna be something after, like $1,500 worth of other shit. I just
Are you
know.
scared of the financial aspect or the actual work
Yes.
done? Yeah.
yeah.
I don't care about anything else because when I was a kid, I had braces, so I'm used
Okay.
to like you could do anything to me. Like really,
Okay.
I don't care. Like I'm not afraid of drills or anything like that. It's just the
But that
financial.
drill when you hear that, I be like,
Ugh.
Like, it's so ridiculous, bro. Like you'll spend like nothing on the cleaning, and then it's like, oh, we found this, and this.
Oh.
2K, 3K, 1,500. It's like, bro,
yeah, that's where I'm at right now, 1,500.
that shit's crazy, man.
And the dentists want their money right then and there, like right then and there. They don't give a damn if you got to like use some other services to get that money here, but you ain't leaving till they get their money.
And then it's so stupid. Like I remember, like when I started working at UF, like when I straight out of college or whatever. Like I think I had like 5K, 6K in the bank because I had like that was like my first year working, and the dentist wanted to charge me like 2K, right? And I said, okay, well, like put it on payments, right? 30% interest rate.
Ugh.
What the fuck? I'm like, bro, I got the cash to pay it right now. Like, why is it 30% interest rate? And then they're like, oh no, you're not approved. At the time, I was like,
You're not approved to pay in cash?
you're not approved to pay in payments. And I'm like, I got the
okay.
cash right now. I could pay it in one payment. And they're like, no,
Yeah.
you're not approved. Because I guess my credit was too young at the time. Well, that shit pissed me off, man. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Your dentist is a melt, boy. That's $1,500 gone. I was like, but I wasn't expecting that. That's the reason why I always have extra money though. Always.
Bro, I get PTSD every time I gotta go to the dentist.
1,500 gone. But I was like, bro, that's like, but I kind of really wanted that silver crown gone anyway, just so like I wouldn't have nothing silver in my mouth.
Yep.
And then, I was like, I kind of already knew I wanted that in the back of my head. So when he's just like, yo, bro, it's about time we replace this. I was like,
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
I know I gotta go back and pay the other 1,500, but it's like I'm gonna do it after Europe, bro.
Now, I don't know how people get the braces or whatever, and they don't get the wire at the bottom. You are the stupidest motherfucker
I got
on the
it.
fucking planet. Yeah,
got
no,
mine.
people will do the Invisalign, and then they won't get the wire in the back. Dude, you know you're not gonna keep up with that shit. Like, I don't even put it in my top guard. I rarely ever put that shit in. Like,
Yeah.
I could only imagine the bottom, and the bottom is what like needed to be fixed on mine. So they would easily like jump back to like fucked up again. I'm like, boy, thank God for that. Like, ain't nobody gonna be putting that shit in, like their retainer. Like, you know what I'm talking about? The one that you removable retainer.
Yeah.
No one keeps up with that shit. That's why the people who get this shit and they say, oh, I gotta go get braces again, because they had that one right there. I'm like, you crazy motherfucker. Like, you couldn't see that shit coming? Like, no. As soon as my dentist said that, I
The
was like,
sad thing is, like, when you're a kid, you
5K
think that
too.
shit, You take that shit for granted, bro.
That's $5K.
Like when I was a kid, I took my teeth for granted. And now that I gotta pay like thousands of dollars to keep up with them, I'm like, bro, what the hell? Like, I appreciate them now, you know?
Well,
When you're a kid, you're like eating all types of dumb shit, like
Yes. Yeah.
like opening like shit with your teeth.
hell no.
Now I don't even, bro. I would never risk that shit, bro. That's
Neither.
thousands of
Open up
dollars.
like bottles and shit. Like hell no.
Whenever I see people like fucking around with their teeth, I cringe. I'm like, bro, you don't even know what you're doing right now. Like,
All right, guys, I have to go.
All right,
All
guys,
right.
get out of here.
Bye. See ya.
Pleasure, guys. See y'all on the next one.
All right,
next
see ya.
time we gotta steal Jordan's soul, so we need more people.
Oh my goodness.
Jordan's soul
Yeah,
is
that's not
mine.
gonna happen. You'd be
All right.
surprised how much RAM I can handle at once.
All
Yeah,
right.
that came out wrong. But anyway,
all right, yo.
See ya.
I'll see you
guys.
guys.
Yeah.